but we're here again. So, all right, bass is relatively in tune. I wanted to talk again about walking bass lines because it's a topic that is just evergreen. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about a 2-5-1 in the key of G major. So the chords are going to be A minor 7, D7 to G. And a good way to start walking a bass line is just learning your roots and fifths. So that would be essentially what a guitar player would call a power chord. And you can start by just playing essentially the roots and fifths. The root, the fifth. So if you have the root here, you have the fifth up above it. And then you also have the octave. So you need to know your root, your fifth, and your octave. If you just want to start walking across any chords. So you even could start in the lower octave and do the fourth blow. And you can get a lot done with just a root and a fifth and an octave. So we want to start with that. So, shut my phone off here. The next thing you'd want to learn would be your major and minor arpeggios. So those can look a couple different ways on the bass. They can look this way. So if you have the A minor arpeggio, you can do, there's your 5th fret E string, 3rd fret A string, 2nd fret D string. So there's your A minor arpeggio. Or you could do it this way. So you're doing 5th fret, 3rd fret, 7th fret. There's a couple different ways. You could even also stretch the pinky to the 8th fret. So there's 3 ways to do that minor arpeggio. There, or here. Just to confuse the issue. Next chord would be your D7. Now I think the easiest way to do this arpeggio is to do it just like this. So 5th fret of the A string, 4th fret of the D string, 7th fret of the D string, and back. And you could do the same arpeggio for the G. So then you can connect it as turn up a little bit. So you could, like I said, there's the arpeggios. You could do just the roots and fifths. And I'm just doubling up the notes. So pretty simple. And then eventually you can start to connect the chords with chromatic passing tones. So, or you can just do the arpeggios, and the arpeggios, here's a trick, kind of link into themselves. So let me show you. So it'll be, and then right here, we're a whole step away from the D. And then, now we're at the D. Now if we want to go to the upper octave, we're only a half step away from the G. So, and now here you could do the reverse. You could do a descending arpeggio for your G. And then even that note there, and then we're back to A. So that note is the B. You're already a whole step away. So you're usually a whole step away from your next chord tone if it's a 2-5-1. So this is talking about 2-5-1s. So, and then the chromatic passing tones, you could start to connect them with the arpeggios. So you have the arpeggio here. So A minor, A, C, E, E flat, D. And then we could do the, like, we could finger it a bunch of different ways. We could shift back. There's our D chord. And I'm doing a chromatic passing tone going down to the root. So, 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 so And then now I think what is the funnest way to approach it is to start to connect all these with just walking the scale. So what you'd want to know is you'd want to know your major scale, and basically starting on the second degree, go chromatic to the D, and then you could go straight chromatic to the G. And oftentimes on a one chord, you can just walk the scale. So it would look like this: A minor, D, G, G, A minor, D, G. And now we can kind of reverse that pattern and go the other way. So A minor, D, G, A minor to D7 to G. So this is just talking about a 2-5-1 in the key of G, which is, like, again, the chords are A minor, D7 to G. I have a really bad cut on my middle finger, so I probably shouldn't be doing this, probably shouldn't even be playing, but you know what? And I like talking about walking bass lines, so it's evergreen. I always emphasize when you're learning to walk a bass line is, like I said in the beginning, learning the arpeggios, learning your roots, fifths, and octaves, because that'll get you a long way. When I first started walking a bass line, it was just I was arpeggio city the whole time. And eventually that's where you start to figure out these, you can kind of connect some of these passing tones a little bit. So that's where you get something like, and then we can go the other way with that one, going back down to the G instead of going up. Or we could start the scale like literally, so if we want to start in the higher octave, look at this. So A minor, there's 4 beats, so A minor, D7, G. So literally, it's your major scale starting on the second scale degree, or the 9, potato, 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 potato is what I like to say. Shout out Ian. So just starting on the second scale degree, starting on an A, favorite bass riff. I'll do that at the very end. But yeah, so A minor. So A minor, we just walk in the scale down. And that'll work perfectly over a 2-5-1. Any 2-5-1, actually. And what's cool about that, that'll work over, you could do that in B flat. C minor, F, B flat. Right? I could even do it this way. I mean, that's one of the reasons why scales are important. One of the many reasons why. Nobody likes practicing scales. I have been practicing piano, and I don't like practicing scales, but you know what? It's important. It's part of music. It's a component of music. A scale isn't music itself, but it's a component. One of my favorite bass riffs, I would say, would have to be, I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite bass riff. Maybe, the intro to Higher Ground by Chili Peppers. Stevie Wonder cover. Great one. But about walking bass lines again, your arpeggios. Here's a cool way, I'll leave you with this. Here's a cool way to do a minor arpeggio if you want to go up the neck. So say you have A minor, so A, C, D, A, C, E. It's a cool spidery way to get up the neck. So you have A, C, E, A, C, E, and then back down. And here's where it gets weird. You can shift the pinky here. Hopefully that was about as clear as mud. Take care. If you find this video in your algorithm, cool. I've got a bunch of compositions out, available on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. Yeah, I've got an upright bass. I've got a ukulele, a lot of guitars, Like I said, I've got a bunch of music out. I'm a composer, string quartet, piano sonata. I like putting dots on paper and giving it to other people to play. So feel free to check it out. A lot of them are available as score videos on this page. If you go to my videos tab, they're there. String quartet, piano sonata, and a bunch of other stuff on Spotify, Apple Music. Got a new piece coming out August 9th, the day before my wedding. I'm excited about. Original composition. I'm playing guitar on it. So stay well. And yeah, that's it for today. So walking bass lines, like I said, a quick recap. Know your roots and fifths. So that'll get you a long ways. Know your roots, your fifths, arpeggios, your root fifth and your octave first. Thank you. So your roots, fifths, and octaves, huge. Next step is the arpeggios. The next step is connecting it with passing tones like this. So, all right, take care, everyone. See you on the next one.